Do you need a new e-reader? Let's talk about it. So this video is specifically dedicated to the BigMe Color e-paper e-reader notepad, which I was very kindly sent for review by the company. I should say that they have not paid me to talk about it, but they did provide me one of their e-readers for free to review, and that is obviously important to acknowledge because I didn't pay for this myself. However, this is actually the kind of e-reader I've been looking for a while, so I was really glad to be able to test it out and see if it met the needs that I'd always hoped an e-reader like this would. So what is it about the BigMe Color e-reader that drew me to it, that made me interested in trying it out? Of course, there's the colour facet, which allows me to read comic books, which I really enjoy. The biggest selling point for me, the one that I wanted to try the most, was the fact that this runs on Android. And because it runs on Android, that means that you have access to the Google Play Store. There you can download any app that you would usually download onto an Android phone. So that means not just the Kindle app, but a lot of the other apps that I use to read, like Ereader, BookBeat and Libby, which gives me access to library books. So one of the first things I did when I got my BigMe e-reader in the post was basically to download all of those apps I'd been excited to try on an e-reader. And why this is important is because I really do not like reading books on my phone or my computer. I've been reading on a Kindle for years now because I really enjoy the experience of reading with e-ink, which is a little bit different from your phone screen or your computer screen, and it's what most e-readers use. But in having a device like a Kindle, which is tied to Amazon, and a Kindle account, I was only able to read Kindle books or any EPUBs or PDFs I was able to send to my Kindle. But I couldn't read things on my Ereader app or my Libby app, which, like I said, was like the big selling point for me when it came to the BigMe. Now, as you'd expect from any e-reader, it can store books on its own library that are not tied to any apps that you download from the Google Play Store. On the built-in library, you can store books in various formats, including your typical EPUBs but also PDFs. Now, for me, the PDF feature is most useful when it comes to academic articles. I do have a few PDF books on there that have been sent to me by publishers. Like when I was studying, whether it be my undergraduate or my PhD, I would read them on my computer, make notes and highlights on the PDFs in my computer. But like I said, I don't love reading on my computer. I find it does strain my eyes after a little bit. So I have been trialling reading a few PDF articles on the BigMe and really enjoying that. What is nice about the BigMe is that if you get the version with the stylus or pen, you can obviously make notes to go alongside your research. So if you are a student, for example, I think I would have really enjoyed this feature. Not only can you highlight the books and make notes attached to the highlights, but you can also just scribble on them and annotate them, and I really like that method of note-taking when doing research and reading PDFs. And I also tried out just reading a regular EPUB on the BigMe. I've been using this device now for almost a month, so I've gotten to try quite a few features and see how it fits into my life, and I really enjoyed just reading an EPUB on there. It was just like you would imagine reading a ebook would be. It's streamlined, it's kind of what you hope from a device like this. But how does that compare to using the other apps? So what I have been really pleased with is that I can effectively use all of these apps I mentioned before. So I have access to basically every subscription service and every book reading service that I want and have on this one device now, which is life-changing for me. This has been so pleasurable. Plus the fact that this is a colour e-ink e-reader means that I can truly appreciate and enjoy reading comic books on it as well. So the comic books, like my favourite series Giant Days, which I've shown in this video, that are available on the apps I use, I can also read on my BigMe, which I'm just really enjoying. These are features that I've kind of longed for a very, very, very long time. And I find page turning on the Kindle app and the BigMe library super fast. I do find it a little bit slower, as you can see in the clips on the Ereader app, for example, as well as BookBeat, which I think is interesting. That seems something that's much more connected to the specific app you're using, and I wouldn't necessarily hold it against the device, but just interesting that there is varying experiences with different apps, just in terms of speed. But otherwise they work perfectly, and you can download a book just like you usually would and read it offline whether you have Wi-Fi or not. Worth noting is that you can watch videos and listen to audiobooks on this device. It does have a speaker.
He said that from 1965 to 66 1987, he'd worked as a weather observer at Nellis Air Force Base in Indian Springs, Nevada.
But I've not found that I particularly need or want to use that feature. It's like a nice bonus, and I'm not saying it will never come in handy, but over the past month it's not really been my go-to device for audiobooks, if that makes sense. You can also just take regular notes on the Notes app within the device. Now, I have used this app whilst I've been out and about with the BigMe. I have used it to jot down a few thoughts in the past. I like that I can scribble them with the pen, but I don't think it's the main reason I'll be using this e-reader in the future. But yeah, I've been using it a ton since I received it. It's the only e-reader I've been using since I received it. I thought that the battery life might not be as impressive as my Kindle or previous e-readers I've had because of the colour feature, and obviously messing about with the settings and changing up the brightness and the lighting, etc. is going to change the battery life. But I found that if I read on it for an hour or two every day, it'll last me more than a week, which is more than enough for what I want. So do you need a new e-reader? Like I mentioned, I think it's about weighing up what you need from your device. If you're looking for a device that is predominantly for note-taking and that's what you're mainly going to use it for, then this maybe isn't what I'd suggest as an e-notebook. But if you're looking for a device that allows you to read from various different apps whilst also annotating and taking notes alongside them, then this is fantastic, and it does deliver exactly what I want from a device like that. It has absolutely become my new go-to e-reader. In fact, I've passed my Kindle along to my partner because this does everything that does and more for me, and I'm really enjoying it. The final decision, of course, absolutely has to be with you. We're all different and we're all looking for different things in our devices, but I'm really pleased with my new e-reader. And just in case you are considering treating yourself or somebody else you know, I'm very happy to say that BigMe did provide me with a discount for my subscribers, all the details of which will currently be on the screen and in the description box. Follow the link and you will get a discount on your purchase. And in the meantime, thank you so much for watching and happy reading.